What's up, everyone? Welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm your host, Ryan Kramer, and this is Crossover Commerce, presented by PingPong Payments, the leading global payments provider helping sellers keep more of their hard-earned money. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, Ryan Kramer, and welcome to episode 82 of Crossover Commerce, presented by PingPong Payments. A little bit about PingPong Payments. We provide marketplace sellers and entrepreneurs global solutions for controlling their domestic and international funds. An account with PingPong enables companies to significantly reduce their costs when receiving or making international payments to their VAs, to their suppliers, to any employees around the world, or receiving from multiple marketplaces as well, to save percentage points on your international transactions and receiving funds. Go ahead and sign up for a free PingPong account today. That link is going to be in the description below. You can go ahead and check that out and save yourself a month on international FX fees with PingPong today. Go ahead and sign up. Again, it's free. To learn more information, just go ahead and click the description below. But I want to go ahead and welcome all of our guests today on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you for watching this episode live, or if you're on Team Replay, thanks for watching a little bit later on when you might have some time. If you're waking up on the West Coast or you're around the world and it's just the middle of the night, we appreciate you tuning in whenever and wherever that is possible. If you prefer these podcasts on audio version, you can also download these on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon Music, truly anywhere where you can get a podcast and download one. We're going to be there. Just search Crossover Commerce by PingPong Payments. But do me a favor, follow, like, and share this episode on social media and hit that bell button to be notified of future episodes of Crossover Commerce, whether you're following me on social media at Ryan Kramer or you're following PingPong Payments. We go live about 4 to 5 times per week, and this week is no exception. I have an action-packed week ahead of me, but this is all for the audience so they can take away multiple nuggets of information about different topics we're going to talk about in the Amazon and e-commerce space. So make sure that you get notified when we do go live. If you can't catch us live again, all these are available on YouTube. Just go ahead and be following PingPong Payments on YouTube, and you'll be able to catch us there. But about our guest today, he is a PPC specialist with 10 years of experience and the founder of Sellers Alley. He works mostly on active advertising platforms with the biggest brands in the world, including Samsung, Sony, and many others. He has worked with 7 to 9 figure Amazon sellers and is experienced in optimizing multi-million accounts on both Seller Central and Amazon advertising platforms. And about the company Seller Alley, which he helped founded, it's a unique place where PPC advertising professionals come together to provide the most unique and suitable strategies for brands' needs and requirements. Their primary advantage is having 10 years of experience working with clients from various industries. They have slowly grown from a small team of PPC professionals experienced in tailoring and implementing PPC campaigns for Amazon sellers to a big group of specialists in Amazon PPC, Google Ads, Amazon DSP, and what we will be talking about mostly today is TikTok ads. Welcome to the show, Lazar Zepinic of Sellers Alley. Lazar, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey,
That was sorry about that.
yeah, there was a short lag. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for inviting me today, and it's a huge pleasure to be here.
Yeah, man, it's awesome to have you on. I know you've been pretty busy at the beginning part of 2021, kind of traveling and kind of reopening your new offices back where you're located. But I know that, but for people who aren't kind of keeping up to tabs on what you and Sellers Alley are doing, give us a rundown. What's been going on with you in the last few weeks, months, years?
Yeah, this year has been really crazy for us. I've been to US I think twice so far, and I'm gonna visit you guys in a month again.
Nice.
Checking some conferences and some meetups and brainstormings with some sellers and service providers all around the US. So this year has been crazy so far. We've moved to a new office in downtown Belgrade, Serbia. We have 75 team members, and that number is growing rapidly. And also this year we signed a contract with TikTok. So we're official partner of TikTok when it comes to advertising. So that's one really huge topic. Like to be honest, like we've been doing a lot of PPC. Like that PPC is like the main topic in my life, like since always. So like at some point last year, there was a demand for attribution, and like on attribution, it is still a pretty big thing on Amazon. And after attribution, it was like pretty expected to go to some new platform to discover something new. And one of the newest ones, if you don't check, like if you don't look at Clubhouse, this one is the hottest, comparing to like next to Clubhouse. But like this one is growing exponentially. It has like 800 million users so far, and like I have a lot of numbers prepared, to be honest. I'm probably gonna read like most of them, because like it's hard to remember all of them, and like it's pretty impressive when it comes to TikTok.
Yeah, man, we're all about, the stats and making sure people are aware of the opportunities for sellers, especially in the newer spaces, how they can get in front of a potential audience. And that's kind of where I wanted to pick your brain with this, because it wasn't something that I knew that was rolled out for mass audiences until you kind of approached me and said, hey, man, there's, TikTok is now opening this up for lots of different, agencies, but sellers in general. And so why is this such a big opportunity for people to really pay attention to? Like, it's not just a flash in the pan. People are watching stupid 30-second videos. This is something where, I mean, to be honest with you, like there's a lot of like when TikTok as a platform, as a social media, why is this something that people need to be aware of now more than ever?
Like when you come to established sellers on Amazon, like guys that are selling for 5 or more years, and you ask them like, how was it like back in the day to sell on Amazon, and they would tell you like whatever you do, it would make some sales. So this is TikTok right now, because like they're expanding, they're having a lot of options, and they're adding more and more options like all the time. And so since there is a lot of like competitors there, you can do a lot of stuff with some basic creatives, some basic videos. You can do a lot there at this point. Like when you ask people like who is on TikTok, a lot of people would tell you like it's for kids. It's like for 16-year-old teenagers, like they're doing some crazy stupid stuff. But like majority of TikTok users right now are around 24. And around 65% of users are girls. 28% of all users on TikTok are on like upper level of house income, and 48% are, let me see if it's correct. Yeah, mid to high income bracket is 48%. So like people that have some money to purchase stuff are currently on TikTok. And that's something that is interesting. The other thing that is super interesting, as I said, like there are lots of like females browsing there. So like if you're selling cosmetics, it's probably a good thing to go to TikTok. And one of the really cool things about them is they have something called market for creators market. So you can go there. Like if let's say you have brand registry 2.0, you can go to brand analytics. You can check like what's the type of customer that is usually buying from you, and like you can compare that data with marketplace on TikTok and find influencers that are literally the ones that you're looking for, like with the right amount of clicks, impressions, and all of it. And you can contact them directly without having TikTok or any other platform involved. You can reach out to them, like negotiate, like to promote your stuff for you, and that's huge opportunity. And like you can reach out to some really big names that are having like huge following behind them. So that's a pretty impressive thing to have. And another thing is like a lot of people are spending a lot of time on TikTok right now. So like one of the things that I wasn't thinking about until I was like I started talking with their head of performance team, and like he told me one really interesting thing. Like like only 7.5% of TikTok users have some other screen turned on. like TV or something else. And
Really?
that's insane, because TikTok makes you like to be like fully engaged in the platform, because like you have video, you need to have your sound turned on, and you're watching and you're browsing. Like you can do it for ages, like you can spend an hour like easily on TikTok comparing to other platforms. Like I'm pretty sure if you spent like an hour on Facebook, you would be bored at some point, but TikTok, it's not the thing at this point.
Yeah, and for people who are listening, and maybe we'll back up to even just a little bit for people who aren't like as cool as you and me, we know TikTok. For those who don't have downloaded TikTok, it's an app that's video first content that is consumable in very quick snippets, right? 30 seconds maximum. Is that the fair, or is it up to 60 now? Is it 30?
It's I think 30 seconds when it comes to organic videos. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
So you have content that it can be as silly as like different dances, different kinds of like viral, movements or whatnot. I've seen people do like overlay music video content, and it has it's set up for trending activities, right? Or has trending opportunities for people to a young demographic to really share amongst their peers, right? You can't tag anyone specifically, can you? Like this is just for the basics. Like you can tag other people.
If you're like creating challenge or something, like I'm doing some video and I'm like doing something that I want you to be involved in it, like I can tag you, and like you can create a video that has like both videos like next to each other. So like you're gonna do something with me, like let's say that we're doing singing or stuff like that, so we can sing together and some random.
I'm in.
Yeah, you can be creative as much as you wish. Well, you probably wouldn't like to have me like singing because I'm a really bad singer. But
for everyone who's listening, not today. We promise to save your ears of that like torture. For myself, especially, I'll speak for myself. Yeah, but Lazar, so why? So it grew organically, right? This is the whole Facebook model. Like you build up your user base, you tout, an audience that is pumping out organic content. Now they're trying to come at agencies with you and work with companies like you to tap into a market where you can potentially integrate advertising. How does that work? What's the basics? Is it going to be in between video swipes, or is it, going from one video to another? It's a randomized process, right? It's an algorithm. It's not, depends on who you follow, depends on what kind of hashtags that you might be following, or just likes or any comments or anything like that. I'm assuming that's how they serve you different sorts of videos. That being said, how do ads get integrated with that user, and how, as an Amazon seller, this going to be effective? Is it based on profiles, if they're liking certain follower or certain professionals? How are you going to get in front of the right audience, if that makes sense?
So you can do a lot of different stuff. Like you should think of TikTok to be like Facebook when it comes to advertising. So you have an option to create audiences. You can basically create remarketing lists. You can target people that visited your website. You want to send people to your product listing on Amazon. You can do basically whatever you wish. There are so many options and so many opportunities when it comes to advertising on TikTok. And when it comes to placements, it's not just videos, like random videos that show up every like 5 or 10 organic videos and then one of yours. Basically, it works like this. When you open an app, first video that you see most of the time is sponsored video, and it's a paid video. You buy it at the country level. So that's the most expensive one, especially in US. I think it's like $300K a day. But like you make sure that everybody's going to see the video. Like there is no chance that somebody's going to miss it, and you need to see it. Afterwards, like you start to swipe and you see like random videos, and after random videos you start seeing a couple of ads from time to time. And like depending on your interest, and like if the campaign is set in a manner that is going to target by interest or to target some specific audience, you're going to see specific video. And depending on how people react on the video, on the ad, you'll see different videos, and like over time you're going to see different performance. And like that's in a basic version. If you decide to create TikTok ads on your own, and if you want to work with TikTok partner like us, you have more ad options, like including coupons. So basically, you have a video that at the bottom has like coupon that goes straight to Amazon that can be implemented on Amazon. Other one is like you can do deep linking. So basically, what that means, like if you have a video and you click on the video, it opens the app, like it opens Amazon app directly, which is pretty cool. Like at first point, like you think like, why should I have it? Like rather than go to browser, it's because you already have your customers' information set in the app. You have payment methods set, so it's more or less like one-click purchase after that. Like if they decide to buy or not.
And
so
this can be something as simple as right after an influencer. If you are working with an influencer, you can have an ad that serves right after that of like, hey, buy this widget XYZ that this person featured, and like buy it on Amazon now, and just serves right after. Can influencers embed that into their own video? Is that
they can
a way
do a
to
lot of stuff. You can do that with influencers, and on the other hand, like if you want to have like paid video afterwards, you can do it as well. Also, one of the options, like for the guys that are doing advertising on Facebook or Google, let's say, they know what are shopping ads on Google, like those small images with products, and that you can click and go to the and purchase the product, or DPA ads. On Facebook, those are the ads like when you open your Facebook app, and like those are like the scrollable ads that like you see different products, and like you have the feed behind it, like from your website, and you have like thousands or maybe a million products, like depending how big the feed is, and like depending on what you visited on the website previously, you're gonna see that kind of products, that or similar products on your Facebook app. And the same thing goes to TikTok as well. And one really cool stuff is like you have transition. So like you have the video about the product, and you have like different options. Like you have your own videos that you can upload, you have custom generated videos and so on. And then you can scroll, and like first scroll after that is like feed generated on TikTok about your products. And after that, like next scroll is transitioning to the website, and like it's a smooth transition from TikTok to the website. So you
almost like a landing, almost like a landing page, and then you're going integrated fully to your website. Interesting.
Exactly.
So specifically, we have a couple different routes we can go down. How is Amazon? How are they rewarding traffic coming from TikTok specifically? Is it boosting organic rank pretty quickly? And the second part of that is, how are conversions for you guys in the beginning of this? Because this hasn't been available for too long. What are you seeing conversions like with ads that are ran through TikTok to Amazon specific?
Well, you touched one point that I didn't want to share at this point, because like we were doing white paper on it.
So there you go. Never mind then.
Yeah, we're making
I'm rolling it back.
we're creating pretty big case study at this point about how TikTok ads and advertising on TikTok can affect ranking on Amazon. And at this point, I can tell you that Amazon is really rewarding external traffic from TikTok and basically any other platform. They like when somebody is investing to bring more clients to Amazon.
Right. So maybe we'll put a cap on that. We'll have to come back to you when you know more about that. But how are conversions happening? Like you said, like we're driving traffic. Are we seeing significant conversions happen to your listing through ads, even more so than maybe PPC through Amazon services? Or how does it compare one to the other?
When it comes to advertising on Amazon and advertising on TikTok, there is a huge difference, especially because like people on Amazon have like more or less they're fully focused on purchasing the product. Like if not some product, or like at some point people like more and more these days people go to Amazon to search to know the product, but like still the biggest amount of people on Amazon are there to purchase the product. So the funnel is more focused on purchasing when it comes to Amazon advertising. But on the other hand, when it comes to attribution, doesn't matter from which platform, people don't have buying intentions right away, So you need to pick, like if you're doing remarketing, obviously you're gonna target people that are highly relevant and highly interested in purchasing the product, and you're gonna have higher conversion rate and probably pay a bit more comparing to just like showing the ad to some specific category or group of people that you want to target, like with different ideas or different interests and so on.
Awesome. What about so when people are starting this, what are the easy steps to get going? You're suggesting people look at TikTok. What are the requirements? Like when are people ready for this? Is it have to have a certain spend, certain Amazon sales data? Like when is someone ready to start jumping into TikTok?
Well, basically you can go whenever you wish, but like if you ask me, I wouldn't go first to TikTok. I would try to establish my sales on Amazon, and from there, like there is one point in expansion of the account, like when you create all of the campaign types and like all of them gain traction and everything. Like whenever you create campaign on Amazon, like it's not going to start working properly right away. It needs to get some history and to start working properly, just because like it has like that learning process by algorithm, and like afterwards those campaigns would start working. And like when you expand to a lot of options, then you should maybe focus on getting some attribution. And like depending on the product type, you should pick different platforms, like if you want to advertise on TikTok is not really for everybody, like because like it's for younger people that are like 24, 25ish or so. You
have to have a cool product, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty true. And like what's really cool about TikTok, like 44% of users on TikTok are not using Facebook at all. 74% of them are not using. Yeah, that's really cool. Like when I saw the numbers for the first time, I was like, wow, because like 44% of them are not using Facebook, 31% are not using Instagram, 74% are not using Twitter. So if you're using any of those platforms and you're doing advertising on them and sending traffic to Amazon, like when you go to TikTok, you're basically going to get like 40% of like completely new people, like completely new audience that you couldn't reach previously, like it's like whole new world.
So what do you think that is? Is that because of the age bracket that you'd be targeting? Is that because what your best guess is why they're not on other social media platforms? Is because they're just young and this is what they grew up with?
It might be that, and also on the other hand, like different people like different stuff. Somebody prefers to read a book, somebody would like to like listen to the podcast, and that's the main difference here as well. Like from my perspective, like people from like Facebook is like today, don't get me wrong, but like more for like middle-aged people, because like it happened when they were young, and like after that, like Instagram started to become cool, and Snapchat tried at some point. It's not that cool. Like it didn't keep up the pace. Like, but like TikTok is now the big thing. Like I'm really eager to see like what's gonna happen with Clubhouse, because like a lot of people are on Clubhouse. I know that you're frequently there. So
over the past 3 weeks, I've been there. Like often. Yeah, like, it's a lot. Yeah. since I've gotten an Apple product or an app or an iPad that allows me to download it. Let's date myself here. I had an Apple an iPad for a long time, but this stupid thing wouldn't let me download this app because it's not old or it's not new enough. So, that's where I purchased it. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to come out on iOS or on Android here probably in a month or two. But I mean, that's the crazy thing about these things. It's maybe kind of more a holistic point. I'll bring this to a 10,000 point view for people listening. Being an online seller is such being in a speedboat is the best opportunity you can be as an online seller. And I say that because you can see a tide of TikTok coming and you're like, all right, I'm going to ride with it, instead of being a Titanic and you're like, I can't move with this huge wave because there's too many other moving parts. We're too big. We can't ebb and flow. You as an online seller, so you're small in the context of you can pivot when things become trendy. You can start trying out different things that are cool and hip and unique, like TikTok, and almost make it very easy for you to capture more data and more audience share instead of a big corporation that doesn't have that opportunity to move that quickly. So with these kinds of things, I'm very curious to see, again, specifically Clubhouse, how it's kind of a fear of missing out platform of nothing's truly recorded. Everything you have to be there is, I mean, it can be recorded, but there's ways around it. But things like talks that are happening with like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or anything like that, how do you monetize that kind of stuff when it happens in that instance? Maybe opening up your crystal ball, apart from TikTok, what do you think is the thing that Clubhouse will do then? If you're like on this, you've seen TikTok kind of take this route, how do you think Clubhouse will take their route to monetize?
For me personally, Clubhouse is like complete mystery. Like I'm there from
It's a
time
black
to
box.
time. Like I didn't know what to expect. Like it's like VR. I'm an early adopter. Like I try a lot of stuff, and like when you started, like when you talk now like about sellers on Amazon, like being an owner of like small to medium sized business, like biggest advantage that you can have there is like you can shift strategies pretty fast, like without having like huge troubles. Like you're more agile and you can do more stuff without any huge consequences. Like imagine huge multi-billion corporation, like they want to try something new. They're probably going to have like analysis about the analysis that's going to be about the analysis, and they're going to need somebody to approve that, and they're going to need an approval to get an approval for the approval. And like when you get all of the approvals and the analysis, it's probably too late to get to something. And like when you're smaller or medium sized, like you have some data and like you see that something is going on, and you're like, let's try it and let's test it. And like what's good about Amazon and PPC overall, like one of the main reasons why I really love doing PPC is basically about not having ideal strategy for everybody. And like if you by any like insane luck have the best strategy for you ever, you probably want to double check it from time to time, because like I would always do A/B tests. Like no matter what, you need to like challenge the idea that you have that is already working. Try something new, because stuff is changing. Maybe your strategy didn't change, or like your company didn't change, or your product didn't change, but maybe market changed. Like maybe your competitor did something differently. Maybe they have problem with their product now. Maybe they're investing double in advertising for that product. So maybe you would like to test everything and like, as I said, like challenge everything. Like for EA games, like when I was a kid, like challenge everything. That's like closest to PPC.
Well, and we didn't hop into this a little bit about your background. Like, what is your background before Amazon? Was it always in e-commerce? What was that? What led you to get into PPC and more like the ad spend side of e-commerce?
Well, when I was in the university, I started working for a company here in Belgrade, Serbia. That is something like Best Buy in the US, but like way smaller. So I started working.
What's the name of it? What's the name of the company?
It's called Technomania.
Okay, never heard of it, but that's okay.
I know it's from Balkans. It's pretty small. Like in Balkans, like sizes is pretty big, but it has like 50 something stores and so on. So I started working there, and I was like, I was doing marketing for them, like all sorts of marketing, from out of home marketing, like billboards and like the TV and radio commercials and so on. And like I really hated the thing that, like, when you invest a lot of money, like I would get money from somebody like some huge brand, let's say like Samsung or LG, and like to do advertising, like to place like hundreds of billboards around the city, and like to have like national TV commercial and so on, and like about OLED display or something like that. And like if you ask me tomorrow, like, did you make any sales? I didn't really know. Like, you would need to check some company like GFK or somebody like that is doing like market analysis to like double check like potential sales, which is not really true, because like there are so many different aspects and things that can affect your sales there. And like at some point we had like, and this was like 10 or 11 years ago, and there was one external company that was doing PPC for our e-commerce store at that point, and I was like head of e-commerce store of internet sales and everything there. So like I was really annoyed that I couldn't read the reports, and like that was like really, really super annoying for me. So I went to the company owner and I said to him, like, I would really like to know more about the reporting, since I'm obviously working in the marketing field. And he's like, yeah, just go there. And like when I saw PPC, and this was like mind blowing for me. This was like, wow, this is insane. Like you can track everything. Like you see the clicks, you see like how much money you spend for each person separately, and if he purchased or not. Like that was like whole different level comparing to video or like TV commercials and so on. And like my love for PPC started like 10 years ago when I started working there. And like from there, I worked for so many different companies. And like I started working on Amazon advertising around 5 years ago or so, like at the time before negative keywords came to Amazon. So yeah, it was like Walmart a year ago, something like that.
Gotcha. Well, so how did you decide to like break off and find Seller's Alley? Because Seller's Alley's been around 3 years. How long? I'm
Something
guessing
like that. Like as a matter of fact, in 2 days we are celebrating our second birthday.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank
That's 2 years is a big deal. Most businesses don't succeed that long, and so like you've made a threshold, and you're still growing. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was insane. Like we became 7-figure agency after a year of our work. And
so
like
what was part of that success? Is it you guys just hitting the ground running, or just the data and the results that you guys were bringing? What led to that growth so quickly?
I think it's a combination. Like I like when I started creating Seller's Alley, the idea initially was to create a company where I would like to work. And like all of the team members that came like are huge experts from like really big agencies, like multinational agencies like that you can find in the US, or like they're heads of PPC departments and so on. They like the energy, and like they all knew what they were doing. But I was like before we start working together, like, and like I'm okay like that we work together, but you need to see like what are the ideas, like why are we doing stuff, like to have the same mindset and all that. Like so like nowadays when you come to Seller's Alley, like we have our own internal website with more than 500 videos in the knowledge base, like why are we doing certain stuff. So at some point we partnered up with Trustio, so we're doing a lot of stuff with them today. After that, we partnered up, like as I mentioned, we partnered up with TikTok. We do a lot of stuff with Microsoft as well. So wow. It's been crazy. Like I went to general manager of Microsoft for like the region, like Southeast Europe region, and I talked about like different stuff to him, and he was like, "This is insane." We went in, and I'm like, "Good." So
you just blew him away with your like intellect in terms of numbers. I always tell people when I like pull out numbers and stuff like that, they either look at me like I'm crazy, or then they start to like their eyes get open. They're like, this guy knows what he's talking about. So I'm assuming that's what that happened with the Microsoft general manager.
Yeah, that's the thing with PPC. Like you are either like intimidated and like you're horrified with numbers and everything. Like it's like how some people like imagine their nightmares, or really fall in love with it. Like it's a lot of Excel and pivot tables and so on. Like and like it I understand that it can be a bit boring at some points, but like in overall, like I really enjoyed doing it. And
So
I think
what's a
that's
bit?
the part of the growth.
Yeah, I was going to say. So your guys' focus is kind of quite large, to be honest with you. Like you guys are being experts in Amazon. You're on social media profiles. What's kind of, or social platforms, I should say. What's kind of that upward trajectory for you guys in terms of where you want to focus and where you want to be number one agency in, this area of the world or just on marketplaces? Because you guys specialize in so much. Where does that kind of continue for you, or is this where
Yes,
you kind of want to
so
be?
we definitely want to keep inside of the advertising and PPC. And we were fully focused for a long time on Amazon PPC, but like because of the expansion, we started doing DSP for our clients as well. And since, as I mentioned, we have a lot of PPC experts in the team, and they're like really, really good guys, and like they really know their stuff. And like I've some like the idea of the company is like that if I'm the smartest guy in the company, we have huge following, so like we have some really, really smart people here, and like with huge expertise in advertising on different platforms. And some of the clients started with like, can you please like check our Google ads as well? And at the beginning we were like, no, we're not doing that. And they're like, please, like you're doing really good job on our Amazon advertising. Like, can you double check Google for us or like Facebook for us? And like we for like first 20 clients, we didn't even charge for it. Like we were just doing it like just to check stuff for them and so on. And like since we started getting some really good results for them on those platforms as well, then they were like super happy, and they were like, oh, we have more friends to come. Like, like it's the Amazon world. Like it's
Right.
never just you, it's a lot of friends around you. So
I was going to say,
started,
yeah, maybe hop into that. And of course, like I want to take a quick reset and just want to say hi to Yana. Yana, shout out. She said, hey guys, on Facebook. I want to give a shout out quickly to Yana because she was on Newswatch in Wild Sea Translations. Again, a friend of the show. She was featured on Newswatch this past Friday, and it was fantastic. I caught it over the weekend and I recorded it. So I just want to give a special shout out since she chimed in here. But Yana, congratulations on the success. That was really cool to be on television, your company, and be featured. Lazar, hopefully like that was okay with you. But if you have a question for Lazar again on social media or anyone else on, if you're listening to this, just tag us and we'll make sure that we see this and answer those questions live because we've covered so much already. We have a few more, about 20 or so more minutes before we sign off for the day. But I want to go into the power of networking because you kind of said like, hey, this kind of opened up doors for us and we grew in these capacities. What has it been like since you started out, you were successful and got in with a $1 billion entity like a Thrasio? Like, what was that process like for you? And how did you get to become a trusted quote unquote partner of theirs to do business?
well, I
nothing too secret. Yeah, nothing secrets or anything like that. But like, how do you
I'm
network?
pretty transparent. I'm pretty transparent to everything. Like most of the people think that like I'm pretty closed, like when it comes to talking to anybody else. But like I think it's mostly because like I'm really nerdy about numbers and so on. And like
being nerdy will always get you farther in life. I promise.
Yeah, like you ask about Yana. And you start talking about Yana. I'm definitely not having problems like mentioning her. Like I don't know if you know, she's like my future wife. Like she's my fiancée. So yeah, we live together. so yeah, she's.
Hey,
like
I keep personal and professional separate. But I was texting her all week. I was like, tell me where I can find this, and she chimed in. So that was awesome to see her hop in. I just want to give her a shout out because she's been really cool to talk with and listen to her expertise. So Yana, shout out to you for hopping on and listening to us today. So I always want to give props to when I see other companies on the show around the world, and I try to shout them out to the rooftops and say, look at the great success people are doing. So yeah, chiming in, fantastic. But yeah, you said you're not, in terms of going with Thrasio, it wasn't just like you were working a personal connection. It was something you guys touted and you did the hard work and they saw that, correct?
That was really crazy, to be honest. Like when I started working, like it was, I think, almost 2 years ago, and Augustus from Orange Click, he had a conference in Amsterdam. Like it was first PPC, Amazon PPC Congress in Europe about advertising, obviously. So I was a speaker there about, I think I talked about attribution or something like that. I can't remember. And like, that those moments between talks, you have a lot of like networking and everything, and like there are always booths with people that are like in some companies, like service providers and so on. And like there was one service provider that was like super funny. They didn't have like any materials. They had like big piece of paper like that they glued on the wall, and they had like a pen, and they wrote down like, "We're buying Amazon businesses." And I came to them, and like they were pretty small at that point, and like
this is Thrasio for people who haven't pieced together. Was this Ken? Was this who was this?
No, it was Brandon.
It was Brandon.
Yeah, so I came to Brandon, and I was like, "Wow, bro, this is like really stupid what you're doing," and like it's so stupid that it's working. Like this kind of advertising, like a piece of paper and like pen. And he was like, "Trust me, it wasn't intentional. Like on our flight, we lost all of the materials, and we didn't have money. Not money. Like we didn't have time to get all of the new prints and everything prepared for the conference. So we did it on piece of paper. So we went and grabbed a drink and like talked about stuff like what their guys doing and like what we are doing and so on. And we kind of connected there, and we tried different stuff. They obviously didn't just pick us like randomly. We did a lot of tests, like comparing to other agencies, and we turned out to be obviously better than like others. I don't like to talk in that way, but like they liked what the results that they got.
You guys drove results for them, and they like, obviously in companies like that, your number one achievement is to have results that you're supposed to their job is to make money and grow businesses after acquiring them. So you help them get there. So there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, you guys did a good job. So that's awesome. So how does Thrasio building out like its network where they're sending like certain, like how do you work with them when you're not part of them? Is it you're collaborating, or are you just handling all that business? How does that work with an aggregator of that size when they have just acquired their 100th brand? Are you guys like the only person working with them? How does that work?
To be honest, I cannot really talk like in depth, like in like how we work, but like overall, like they have their own team and we have our own team from our end, and like those two teams collaborate and work together, and we're doing stuff. So yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get into the secret sauce. I in terms of like businesses wise, do you ever feel like there would be, so like for businesses and whatnot of yourself, you guys are going to continue to grow and they're going to continue to grow. Is that something in your roadmap where you would ever like just become either you would acquire another business and continue like the services outside of your purview? Or would you like grow to a point of like, we're going to be this massive agency and just going to dominate the marketing space? What's kind of like your ambitions as an entrepreneur?
Well, to be honest, like
what's your vision board, Lazar? Your vision board.
Well, you're gonna laugh if I tell you.
I don't laugh. I promise. No, tell me. This is no judgment zone here.
So, like, the main idea is to provide the best possible service, like ever, or like to try as much as possible to provide the best possible service. And like, if you work with us, you can see the dedication of everybody in the team, and like that's the priority number one. Priority number two is to make as many people happy as possible in the process, in the team, and like everybody else. And like we're not focused on money, like literally at all. And like that's the main reason why I feel like that we're growing. And like at one point I would like to have like some really, really huge agency, and like in 10 years I would like to have a cartoon, our own.
No way. Okay, tell me more. That's fascinating. I'm not laughing. See, I'm intrigued.
I would really love to have our cartoon at some point, because like I like all the money that I would make with Sellers Alley, I would like to invest it in cartoon, because like that's the in my mind, that's the best way how to make as many people happy as possible.
So you're talking about a comic, like in the United States, a comic book, or are you talking about like on television or like
like animated like cartoon on TV, like Disney, like full length, like hour and a half cartoon.
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so like
that's like, one of the ideas, like that like in the process, like as we grow, like that's something like I would like to have a dedicated team to do some stuff like that are gonna be crazy and like positive.
Well, that's part of the creativity side, right? We all go into business for our own ambitions. That's amazing. Like I'm actually really I think that's a really cool, very specific goal to have. And for people listening, I'm not laughing. I'm like actually excited right here. So okay, quick before we get back.
I think it's the first time ever that I said this to anybody else, like that is not
breaking news on breaking news on Crossover Commerce. Lazar's going to be. This is a vision board. We're putting this out there for the world to know now. So if you're listening to this, Lazar's going to have his own cartoon, and we're going to make it happen because Sellers Alley is going to. When is this happening? Is this in the next 5 years, 10 years? What's that time frame that you're doing?
I hope that it's going to happen in like 10 to 15 years. Like I really hope that it's going to happen. But like when it comes to agency, I would really like to provide the best possible service like ever, and like it's not about like growth, like unlimited, like to have like 1,000 people in the team. That's not the point.
Take over the world. Yeah.
Like I don't know when it's gonna be like the upper limit to it, but like definitely I just want to provide the best possible service, and that's like the main reason why I'm a bit intimidated when it comes to purchasing other businesses, like other agencies. Like I really like the way how we're working, and like not all the time all of the results are gonna be like insanely good, but like when we don't do stuff correctly, we're like, okay, like give us a month to fix everything if it's not working, like because that kind of stuff happened, like nobody's really talking a lot about that, but like sometimes some strategies are not working. Like we're more than willing to test the hell out of the account until we get to the desired results, because like there is no better commercial ever than to have somebody to say that you're doing a good job, like
Absolutely.
Good advocates are like the best way how to promote your business. And even better is to have somebody that really hated you to be converted to like you. That's the absolutely best one.
Well, and that's the right way to do business, right? Because I've always been in the business of you treat the customer right and you find what's going to help them succeed, and by definition and by the transfer of what makes them successful makes you successful. That's always going to lead for better results instead of pushing upon an idea or thought or a solution that doesn't fit their needs, and then they become unhappy and then they leave an unhappy customer. So you're doing it the right way. And I put in the show notes, as well as for everyone who just wants to check out Sellers Alley here, we put their website to check out and just like get more information as well. But before we have to wrap up today, we did have another question that came in from a friend of the show, Francois, if you don't mind answering this. Francois asked, what are some common KPIs e-com sellers set when advertising on TikTok? Also, how can they track conversions from TikTok traffic to Amazon sales? Is that a suite that you guys as an agency are able to have insight on in terms of impressions, clicks, conversions? How does that all translate back to, conversion? How does that work for Amazon?
If you want to track conversions, you definitely need to have attribution from Amazon and fully set. So basically, you need to have brand registry 2.0 and to have attribution turned on. And there you can create UTMs that can be added to your final link. So everything can be tracked inside of attribution if you're doing advertising on TikTok platform. So it shouldn't be any problem to track sales coming from TikTok, but they're going to be attributed sales. It's not going to be like last click conversion, but you're going to see them coming over time.
Would you suggest using a coupon code? You said you can apply a coupon code, whether
it's
like a certain percentage or anything like that.
with partner agencies, like I'm not pushing you to work with us, but like if you work with partner agencies, like different partner agencies are having different extra options that TikTok is not giving, like for users that are using TikTok directly. Like we have, like personally in Sellers Alley, we do have like 2 or 3 more different placements that you cannot use, like let's say DPA ads. We have coupons as well. We have more targeting options. We have more bidding options as well, because we're also like we're testing a lot of stuff for TikTok as well. Like if something is working, if something is not. We have a lot of incentives. Like for every 50,000 ad spent, you get 15,000 in ad spend credit. If you spend 25K inside of 3 months, you get like 10 or 20%. I need to double check like above that. So,
Look at your price sheet. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so like it's not like super pushy. Like there are many options that you can do that can help a lot. And like when it comes to KPIs, like depends what's your goal there. You can do sales directly from TikTok. If it's all about creatives, like you should always have like 2 or 3 different creatives, so you can A/B test which one is working the best for certain thing that you want to accomplish, because some of them are more engaging to like watch, click, or do stuff like that, but some of them are more like engaging in the manner of like purchasing product.
Absolutely.
So having some creative is like I know that a lot of people are like intimidated about like creatives. Like you should definitely start with something super basic, like just like grab your phone and like do some stuff with it that is going to be funny, and with the product you can test that. And like we have different partners that we work with that like can create videos for you from something super cheap, like $50 per video, to something like super professional on the other end. So yeah, it's a combination of everything.
I was gonna say, is it common where people are using their same like video ads that they might on social media, like on Facebook, that would convert maybe for or Instagram that would use for TikTok? Or do you find that what's kind of the creatives that people are going with? Is it more people using the product? Like what are the kind of creatives that people are doing in terms of
I
ads
think
on
it's like
TikTok?
more witty and like more funny and more like engaging that
Okay,
needs to be placed on TikTok. Like you can obviously test everything and like try
sure.
everything, but like if you combine, like you can pay for some challenges as well. Like there's or like you can participate in some challenges with your product. Like there are like different hashtags on TikTok, and like if you can easily become viral on TikTok as well. Like to do stuff like dances or like some certain moves or like whatever, and like to use your product while you're doing it. Like I'm pretty sure that you can become viral if you're funny enough.
Are you guys using the hashtags to use for keyword research for your own products, that you can use those in terms of like search or campaigns through your own Amazon PPC? For example, like I know on Marketplace Pulse, they came out with like the TikTok leggings keyword. There was just this one product that was trending for 2 months, I want to say in January and February. And it was just people were searching for TikTok leggings. And it was just this one brand that kept popping up. Are people are like it was just like it was organic, like they weren't driving, they weren't using ads, it was just an influencer used it, and people were searching for TikTok leggings. Would you recommend people start using the phrase TikTok in their keyword campaigns or their ad campaigns on PPC?
Well,
It's almost like
if
its own
nobody,
brand's search term, right? Like it's almost like its own brand search term, but
if
if you're bidding
nobody
on it,
clicks on it, you're not gonna spend any money on it. So like I
right?
would definitely,
But
nothing
I mean,
stops
like
you. Like
if
it's like
someone's like, yeah,
if you're gonna use French words in Canada, or if you're gonna use Spanish words in your campaigns in US, like you can do it, and like they can make a lot of sales. Like it doesn't necessarily mean that they're just going to stay there. Like it depends on the strategy.
right.
Like if you do like good keyword harvesting, and like like automatic campaign would definitely trigger those search terms that have like TikTok in them, unless you
Right.
blocked possibility to have them. So, and like if you see that something is working like that, why not? Like you should expand.
Well, and that was a crazy thing, is it was the top 50 natural, like organic search on Amazon for solid 2 months. And this is where I come from. If I'm a competitor, or if I have a set of leggings or something similar in that concept, I'm going to run a bid campaign on those terms. So when someone searches for it, they're naturally just like, oh yeah, these are the same ones. Like no one truly knows because they didn't put the brand or anything like that. It was just the look and like of it. So if I have something similar, I'm like, I'm going to just subvert all that traffic that's going there naturally. And like kind of that's a silly, I guess, thing is you can trigger a campaign pretty quickly with PPC. Has there been other like success campaigns that you've seen that have yielded through TikTok that maybe not been successful on PPC, like traditional advertising yet?
You know what you can do that you cannot do straight from Amazon? You can do remarketing. Like
Right.
you can do a bit of it, like through different campaigns. Like you can do it super successfully on DSP, for example. If you
Right.
use DSP platform, you can do wonders with remarketing campaigns. But like you can do that stuff as well on TikTok. So I highly recommend using them. And like DPA campaigns are insanely good, especially because they're not available on like for everybody at this point. So you need to have agency that is signed to have it. Like I'm not saying to work with us. It's not a sales
But
pitch.
like you guys, yeah.
Yeah, but we do have it. Like
We are one.
That's the thing.
Let's be honest.
So
Hey,
yeah,
we're not selling. We're just saying like you guys are naturally aligned with it, and if you want to try different ways to get out to an audience, this would be one of those exciting new ways as well. And speaking of the other new way, I was going to say, make sure you follow both of us on Clubhouse, and I even make sure that I put your handle there. I even searched it earlier. So if you're listening to this and you want to follow Lazar on TikTok, it's at Lazar_SA, and that's his handle on TikTok, or not TikTok. Gosh, not even on TikTok, on Clubhouse as well. So both of us, make sure if you're listening or following us, make sure you follow us on Clubhouse as well. Lazar, thank you so much. I know we could probably go into a couple more topics, but for the sake of today, it was really cool to understand like the high level of what makes TikTok, the exciting new venture of how to drive traffic, how to get conversions. But if someone wants to learn more about you, know what Sellers Alley is up to, maybe like ask about how they can work with you guys, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for inviting me. Like, and for everybody that is listening to your podcast, like we have completely free audit of the account, so people can come to us, and like we offer like absolutely free 20 pages of like in-depth, like this is the problem, this is the solution, so they can work it on their own. They can send us an email on office@sellersalley.com or visit us on sellersalley.com website. So yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, check out the link below. Again, it's sellersalley.com. Lazar, thank you so much, man, for hopping on today, telling us a little bit about the secrets that you're holding from the rest of the world, man. Like, I appreciate you giving us some insight on who you are as a person, but also the exciting opportunity that Sellers Alley is moving forward. That's really exciting, and congratulations on the success.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. And again, that was Lazar of Sellers Alley for joining us today. Again, that was just one nugget that we're going to bring to you again live on Crossover Commerce. If this is your first time tuning in, or if this is, again, your 83rd time, we appreciate all of you for joining us on another episode of Crossover Commerce. This week, I'm going live four times, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this week, in order to bring you the best nuggets in the Amazon and e-commerce space. Tomorrow, we're going to have Jeff Cohen of Seller Labs. We're going to be talking about starting your day off right and maximizing profit. On Wednesday, I'm really excited about having Athena from Titan Network. She's going to be coming on talking about women in Amazon and achieving personal and professional services, professional success, excuse me. And then on Friday, I'm going to have my guy, Paul Barron from the Chat Agency, hopping on, talking about influencers, talking about publicity and branding and growing your online business. So you don't want to miss any episode this week. Make sure you hit the bell on all of our social media platforms on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Ryan Kramer, the host of this show, Crossover Commerce. You can follow me on social media as well, but make sure you go on all of the different links below in the show notes and support our guest today, Lazar of Sellers Alley. Again, I'm Ryan Kramer with Crossover Commerce. We'll catch you guys next time on another episode. Take care.